and they were having this sleepover, and so they invited me, and mind you, we had to drive to this place, which was like hours away.
Mariah Carey is a singer, songwriter, actor, and record producer from the United States. She's known as the Songbird Supreme and Queen of Christmas for her 5-octave vocal range, melismatic singing style, and characteristic use of the whistle register. Carey achieved prominence in 1990 with the release of her self-titled debut album. From Vision of Love through Emotions, she was the first artist to have her first 5 singles chart at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Carey's debut album was produced by Tommy Mottola, a Columbia Records executive whom she married 3 years later. Carey achieved worldwide success with the albums Music Box, Merry Christmas, and Daydream, which featured the singles Hero, Without You, All I Want for Christmas Is You, Fantasy, Always Be My Baby, and One Sweet Day, which topped the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 decade-ending chart.
Without a sense of belonging to touch, somewhere halfway. Like, these are things that I've been talking about for a long time. So it's like people are like, oh, she's talking in this book now.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video.
Her full name is Mariah Carey, but is also known as Mariah. She was born March 27, 1969 in Huntington, New York, making her 53 at the time of this production. She stands at 5 feet 8 inches tall. The diva Mariah's hobby of collecting an exclusive range of footwear and bags becomes apparent on seeing her exclusive clothes room or showroom, which is like a boutique with everything on view and arranged by color and type. Besides the clothes room, there's a shoe room filled with hundreds of pairs of exclusively designed uber-expensive footwear. This special room is designed with limestone flooring and is decorated with unusual organic curved stools. Pop diva Mariah Carey owns 4 Jack Russell Terriers named Cha-Cha, Jackie Lamb Chops, JJ, and Dolomite. Carey dotes on the pooches during her spare time and pampers them to no end. One of the pets even made a stage appearance alongside the diva at the 2012 NFL kickoff concert, where she held the dog in her arms while performing her new hit song, Triumphant. The singer regularly updates her fans about the canine's antics on microblogging site Twitter. Veterinarian Cindy Bressler once accused Mariah of unpaid bills, accounting to $30,000 for treating the pooches. In 1993, Mariah married Tommy Mottola. They divorced in 1998. She was married to actor Nick Cannon from 2008 to 2016. They have 2 children together, twin boys who were born in April 2011. She was briefly engaged to Australian billionaire James Packer in 2016 and dated singer Luis Miguel between 1998 and 2001.
Very important that the kids always feel safe and that they feel seen and heard and that they know that they are loved unconditionally.
Mariah Carey was born on March 27, 1970 in Huntington, New York. She's of African American, Afro-Venezuelan, and Irish descent. Her father's father adopted the last name Carey upon moving to New York, changing it from Nunez. Her mother was a one-time opera singer and vocal coach. Her parents separated when Mariah was 3 years old. Always interested in the arts and music in particular, Mariah started writing poems and early songs while at Harborsfield High School in Greenlawn, New York. She graduated from high school in 1987. At Harborfields, Mariah befriended Gavin Christopher and Ben Margulies, with whom she began composing full songs with lyrics and music. After graduating, while living in New York City, Mariah, Gavin, and Ben continued working together to create a full-length demo. The demo eventually made its way to pop singer Brenda K. Starr. Brenda continued to pass the demo around town while bringing Mariah to various industry galas. At one such gala, the demo tape was handed off to Tommy Mottola, the head of Columbia Records. He listened to the tape in the car on the way home. After hearing the first 2 songs, he was convinced Mariah Carey would become a star. It took 2 weeks to track her down, but when he did, Tommy instantly signed Mariah to a record deal and assembled a team to plot her commercial debut. In Tommy's eyes, Mariah would be Columbia's answer to Arista Records' Whitney Houston. Mariah's self-titled debut album was released on June 12, 1990. Columbia reportedly spent $1 million promoting the record. Sales were slow at first, but eventually the album would eventually be certified 9 times platinum in the US alone, selling more than 15 million copies worldwide. The album reached #1 on the Billboard charts and earned her a Grammy for Best New Artist and Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. Mariah's next album, 1991's Emotions, was also an enormous success, but it was her third album, 1993's Music Box, that took her career to stratospheric levels. Music Box spent 128 weeks on the Billboard chart and eventually sold an astonishing 28 million copies worldwide. It's one of the best-selling albums of all time. Her success was not short-lived at all. Her next album, Merry Christmas, was also a monster, selling more than 15 million copies worldwide. Her next 3 albums would sell 20 million, 10 million, and 8 million copies worldwide, respectively. Mariah's Christmas album is probably most notable for featuring the song All I Want for Christmas Is You, which would eventually become one of the best-selling and most profitable singles of all time, with global sales of 16 million and counting. The song is featured in dozens of Christmas movies and is a massive hit around the holidays on streaming services such as Spotify and Pandora. The song, which reportedly only took 15 minutes to write, generates an estimated $600,000 per year in royalties for Mariah and producer Walter Afanasieff. The song has generated more than $60 million in gross royalties to date.
I feel that I could surpass where I came from, that I could overcome my childhood and my dysfunctional family and all the things that happened to me as a kid.
In April 2001, Mariah left Columbia Records and signed what was then a record-setting $100 million 5-album contract with Virgin Music. That's the same as $150 million after adjusting for inflation. It was the biggest contract in the history of music at the time. Mariah's first album with Virgin, Glitter, was released in August of 2001. The album was actually a soundtrack to a movie of the same name, which was a semi-autobiographical movie about a fictionalized version of Mariah. Both the album and the film, which was unfortunately released on September 21, 2001, 10 days after the 9/11 terror attacks, were panned by critics and audiences. The movie is famously one of the biggest box office bombs of all time. Even before the movie's release, Mariah had to be hospitalized for extreme exhaustion. She reportedly experienced a physical and emotional breakdown. Over time, the album sold 3 million copies. That would have been respectable for any other artist. Unfortunately, it was a disaster for Mariah and Virgin's newly minted $100 million contract. Virgin was so desperate to free themselves from Mariah that they paid her $28 million to end the contract early. When it was all said and done, Mariah was paid nearly $50 million to produce the one album for Virgin. Mariah's net worth is estimated to be $320 million. Mariah Carey's house in the Bahamas is on sale for $5.5 million. A 4-part compound, Mariah's house is actually a series of pavilions that surround a central courtyard. There are 4,000 square feet of indoor space and 3,500 square feet of outdoor space for enjoying the gorgeous Bahamian weather. Called Villa Sea Lily, the property also features a 40-foot pool, floor-to-ceiling windows, and a wraparound terrace. There are 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms spread out around the pavilions, and each pavilion has its own wet bar. Located on the very exclusive island Windermere, Mariah Carey's house is a clear indication that her particular star is still firmly planted in the stratosphere. Cars you'll find in Mariah's garage include a Rolls-Royce drop-head coupe, a Maybach 6.2S, a Porsche Cayenne SUV, a Rolls-Royce Phantom, and a Mercedes-Benz SLK.